Listen, Facebook marketing is helping people get some crazy results, and we're helping our clients leverage Facebook marketing in 2020 to do the exact same thing. I mean, just take a look at some of these client returns. We've helped our clients reach millions of people. We've helped our clients generate millions of website clicks, and we've even helped our clients produce millions of sales, all while strictly using Facebook marketing. So maybe you're at the point where you're trying to grow your Facebook presence, or maybe you're trying to decide whether or not you should do Facebook marketing. And some have actually tried Facebook marketing and simply gave up because they don't think it works. Well, the truth is there's a lot that can go right and wrong when you're doing any kind of marketing, especially Facebook marketing. And so today I'm gonna go over everything you need to know about how to generate real results using Facebook. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm Sean with Life Marketing, the digital marketing agency that saves businesses from bad marketing and no results. So today we're gonna do a deep dive into Facebook marketing. Now, obviously there's a lot of marketing channels to choose from. You have traditional marketing plays like magazines, billboards, and cold calling. And then you have digital marketing plays like blogging, Google, and social media. So why Facebook? I mean, on the surface, it just looks like a place where people go to connect with their friends, right? So does it offer any real business value? So if you've been watching our videos, then you probably already know that Facebook has two very, very important elements that allows them to stand out from every other marketing channel in the world. And the first one is that they have a user base of over 1 billion users, and you have the ability to reach almost anyone who's in your target market on Facebook. And the second one is their ability to hold attention. The average US adult spends 38 minutes per day consuming Facebook content. And for context, users spend an average of 5 seconds looking at a website's written content. And that 38 minutes was just on Facebook. That doesn't even account for all their other digital platforms like Instagram. So right now, I wanna give you guys a complete guide to Facebook marketing for 2020 and what 2021 may have in store for it as well. I'm gonna break this video down into 3 parts. In part 1, we're gonna look at Facebook from the organic side, which basically is all the free features available to businesses like you. In part 2, we're going to look at Facebook from the paid side, which basically looks at all their paid ad features. And in part 3, we're gonna look at accommodations and predictions for Facebook going into 2021. But before I dive in, if you're in business or you just love marketing and you love growth, please hit that like button below and subscribe to our channel. And thank you to everyone who's been subscribing so far. We're over 1,000 subscribers now, which gives us the momentum to keep producing great videos. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into part 1 of this video, Facebook organic marketing. The first thing you need to know is that there's a personal side of Facebook and there's a business side of Facebook. The majority of its users only use the personal side. So that's the common stuff like creating posts, sharing content, and talking with friends. But there's an entirely different side of Facebook, which is the business side. So if you're a business or working for a business and you're ready to get started, then the first thing you need to do is set up a business manager by going to business.facebook.com and create an account. From here, you can start creating your Facebook business assets like your Facebook page, your ad account, your catalog, pixels, and more. The main thing that you need to know for organic Facebook marketing is your Facebook page. In fact, nearly everything you do on Facebook business-wise will relate back to your page because your Facebook page is like your hub. It's kind of like your personal website, but on Facebook's platform. So it's really important that you set your page up for success and you know all the features available to you. So let's take a few minutes to look at your Facebook page. But if you're already familiar with Facebook pages, including the new shopping feature, and you can skip ahead to the organic tips in this video. All right, I'm on my computer now, and we're gonna look at Life Marketing's Facebook page to avoid sharing any client information. All right, so I just wanna walk you guys through all the powerful features available to you with Facebook marketing inside of pages. All right, so at the top we have our navigation menu for your Facebook page. And as you can see, I'm on the page area, which basically gives you a high-level overview of everything you need to know about your page. Next to that, you have your ad center. Your ad center basically is where you're gonna run a lot of ads. I have a really important section that you need to pay attention to later in this video as it relates to ads. In the inbox, you're gonna be able to see all the incoming messages that you have coming in through your content. So you're gonna be able to see the comments on posts, you're gonna be able to see messages that people are sending you directly within the inbox. Here you have your managed jobs. So you may have not known, but you can post jobs from within Facebook pages so you can recruit really good talent. Next to that, you have notifications. So just giving you some updates in terms of what's happening, who's a fan, who's liking your content, who's sharing your content, etc. Next to that, you have your insights. So insights is gonna give you some analytics about how your page is performing. Okay, you're gonna be able to see impressions, your reach, your fan growth, and a lot more. So insights helps you determine how your strategy is working. And then you have some publishing tools as well as page quality. All right, underneath that, you have the biggest section, which is your ability to write posts on Facebook. All right, so you can write a post, you can add a photo or video, which again is something we highly recommend. You can add emotion to your post, and you can do a lot of other things such as create a poll, create a watch party, support a nonprofit, check in somewhere, and even advertise some of your posts, which we're gonna get into as well. All right, so another cool feature on Facebook, let's call this another cool feature in Facebook pages, is that you can schedule a post. So right here on the news feed, instead of sharing this now, I can schedule this to go out into the future. Maybe I wanna go out tomorrow, next week, or maybe at the end of the month. But we have the ability to schedule posts right here inside of Facebook, which is really cool and convenient when you wanna save some time with producing content. All right. So those are some really cool posting features. In addition to that, you have the ability to go live and just talk to your audience live, one-to-one or one-to-many in a live setting. You can also create an event, right? You can promote a specific offer. And that event is coming up here. We'll just check that out. You can also create a specific offer. And again, you can create a job. All right. In addition to this, one of the most powerful features that Facebook just launched is the Facebook Shop. So Facebook Shops are basically the e-commerce of Facebook. Okay, so Facebook wants to keep as many people on their platform as possible. And so they're introducing shops so that people and their users can just buy things that they want right there inside of Facebook, which is gonna be a huge thing for the future. So within shops, you have the ability just to create a page. We'll take a look at this video here. So this is sort of what it's gonna look like on mobile, and it looks like this is for Instagram. As you can see, they have a collection here. They're customizing their collection, adding products. I'm sure they're gonna add some pricing in here as well. Definitely recommend checking that out. And this is what it's gonna look like, guys. You're gonna see a nice image at the top and then be able to categorize your products after that. So that's what the shop looks like on Instagram, and then very similar, this is what the shop will look like on Facebook. So definitely a huge feature that's gonna save a lot of users' time as well as businesses' time who are looking to sell products online. Definitely believe that you should use Facebook Shops, connect that with your Facebook page, as well as your Facebook Ads Manager. All right, so as you guys can see, Facebook has a lot of cool features. Let me hop back off and get back in front of the camera. Okay, so now that you're familiar with Facebook page features, let's talk strategy. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. Organic marketing is basically free marketing. And who doesn't love free? Hey Sean, there's some free pizza in the lobby. But usually that means that it takes more time. For example, our YouTube channel is a part of our organic strategy. And we've gone into this year with the expectation that it's gonna take a while before it takes off, which means in the beginning, you will likely see a slow rise in traffic, fans, or sales. So taking the organic route means you're willing to put in the effort and the time. All right, so if you're still in, let's go ahead and take a look at 4 organic tips. Starting with tip number 1, create valuable content. Now, we created an entire video about content marketing, which I will link up above. But the key takeaway is to give value to your audience and to try to avoid selling. Listen, it doesn't matter how great your page looks or how many features your page uses if the content is bad. Remember, Facebook is a place where people genuinely go to connect with other people. So if you're interrupting that, then you better be bringing in some massive value, like giving away some really awesome tips. Let's move on to tip number 2, create valuable native content. Now, native content is simply content that purely lives on the platform. Now, that is important because Facebook has a complex algorithm that helps determine what content they should show to its users. And we've found that Facebook posts with links to other places like blogs will get far less reach. But why? Why would Facebook do this to me? I'm trying to get more traffic to my website. Now listen, there's definitely a time and a place to promote your site. In fact, I would expect you to. But remember, Facebook's goal is to keep their users' attention. So they don't want you and millions of other companies spamming their users with links. Because if so, then people will stop using Facebook, and that's not what you want, and neither does Facebook. Which is why you want to create valuable content that makes people want to consume, share, and discuss. Which, speaking of discussions, if you're able to spark a positive debate, then that can be a quick hack to get more engagement and more reach. However, I would recommend staying away from political or social issues because that can put you in a compromising position to take a side. All right, now let's move on to tip number 3. Use video content. Okay, I know this is my 3rd time mentioning content, but this is one that can help you grow even faster. Again, Facebook's goal is to increase their users' attention, their time on the platform. So they've already nailed down native content, and now they're focusing more on video engagement. So if you're creating video content right now, you're going to get a big boost in the algorithm. That means more people will share your content. And remember, the video needs to be all about your audience and bringing them value. Now, hopefully this can help you create a winning content plan. So let's move on to the next tip, where we talk about how we can get people to consume your content, which is step number 4. Community development. Now, obviously, if you already have traffic and a lot of fans, then you simply need to promote your Facebook page to them. But if you're starting from scratch, then my biggest recommendation would be to start or join Facebook groups, because Facebook algorithm is significantly diminished in a Facebook group setting, so you have the ability to reach a lot of people. Now, when you join a Facebook group, there are usually some moderation rules, which in general, most group owners don't want you to spam their members with your sales or your links. So can you guess the most effective way to leverage a group? If you said provide valuable content, then you guessed right. When you give good advice, feedback, or content in a group setting, then people naturally want to learn more about you. And you can position your Facebook group or your Facebook page in a way where people can find those assets and become fans. So that takes care of part 1 of this video, which is organic marketing. Whew. Almost there. Now let's look at part 2 of this video, which is the paid side of Facebook marketing. Now, the paid side is often referred to as Facebook advertising products, which allows you to grow your content and your audience much faster. The first thing you need to know about Facebook advertising is that you need a Facebook ad account. You can set up a Facebook ad account by logging into your business manager and simply creating an ad account. And again, you can go to business.facebook.com to get started. Now let's take a little bit of time looking at Facebook Ads Manager and some of the things that you can do with it. But again, if you're familiar with Facebook Ads Manager already, then you can skip ahead to get to the Facebook advertising tips. All right, I'm on my computer now, and we're gonna do a walkthrough of Facebook Ads Manager so you can see firsthand how powerful powerful it is and everything that you can do with it. Now, for the sakes of this example, I'm not gonna go through a specific campaign or any results, but I just wanna show you guys exactly all the capabilities that you have with Facebook Ads Manager. So we're gonna walk through creating a campaign. All right, so when you get ready to create a campaign, the first thing you need to do is to select an objective. And you have about 3 phases to choose from. All right, the first phase is the awareness phase. So you can decide between, do you want more brand awareness or more impressions, or do you want to reach more people? All right, this is great for people who do not have any audience yet. The next thing you have is the consideration phase. All right, so you can choose between generating more traffic, more engagement, maybe some app installs, video views, generating leads, or generating messages. All right, so those are the things and objectives you can choose from the consideration phase. Next, you have the conversion stage. All right, so you already have traffic, you already have brand awareness and reach, and maybe some leads, and you're ready to start selling some things. So here's where you start selecting your conversion objectives. So maybe you want just some basic conversions. It could be more leads. Maybe you want some catalog sales, or maybe you want to start driving some in-store traffic. All right, these will be some conversion objectives to choose from. All right, so this is really good. Conversion phase is really good for people who are very mature in their marketing presence. They already have traffic, they already have some leads, or they already have reach, they already have brand awareness, and they're trying to convert that traffic. All right, if you're not there yet, then I recommend you start somewhere between the awareness and the consideration phase. All right, so we're gonna just go through a consideration traffic campaign so you guys can see what it looks like. So the first thing you can do is just type in what you wanna name your campaign. I'll just call this Facebook Ads Walkthrough. And then you can choose some campaign details, whether you want an A/B split test or use a campaign budget. Now, I normally just go with the default settings here, unless you have, again, a very mature marketing presence. Next, you're gonna get into the ad set. So this is where all the magic happens with Facebook Ads Manager. You have some very detailed targeting options that you can go after. So we're gonna name this ad set, let's call it Dog Lovers. Let's say we wanna go after some dog lovers, all right? Here we have the objective again, and we wanna send traffic to the website. Dynamic, creative, and offer we'll leave off because again, that's pretty advanced. And then budget, you can select a daily budget or even a lifetime budget. And then you also can just select a start date and an end date, which is all optional, okay? And then you have the audience, all right? So again, this is where the magic happens. You can select your specific location. I have it set on the United States, but pretty much anywhere in the world, you can target Facebook ads. Then you have your age group or age range. So you can choose, hey, I want to target 18-year-olds, or I want to target people over 65. You can even say, hey, I just want to target people who are 65 and older, right? So you have really good details in terms of your age groups. And then the most powerful stuff is going to be your detailed targeting. All right, so you can choose from different demographics, different interests, and behaviors that people are putting out on Facebook. All right, so let's say we're going after dog lovers. All right, some demographics of dog lovers could be, just groups and people who are dog lovers, right? So that would be an interest. We'll go ahead and select that. Let's also do dog and go after, look, you can go after demographics such as dog groomers, dog trainers, a dog walker, a dog handler. So let's just select dog trainer. I mean, that sounds really good. And so, yeah, after you type in a few detailed targeting, it'll start giving you suggestions, right? So people who are interested in puppy love, people who are dog walkers, people who are just interested in dogs or dog health or dog training, people who have pets at home, people interested in dog behavior, pet groomers, pet stores, so many options that you can choose from, all right? And then you can layer these options by narrowing the audience, right? So maybe we want to target these two interests, and then we also want them to match another interest. And I'm going to go into behavior, and let's just say, this person is an engaged shopper, right? And maybe this person They also have an anniversary coming up within the next 61 to 90 days, right? There's so many different options and levers to pull here, but the point is that it is a very sophisticated targeting system and very powerful. And I would highly doubt if you could not find your audience using this system. For example, I had a landscape client. You can target landscapers right inside of this particular detailed targeting system. All right, you can target different landscape products, different landscape job titles, and more. All right, and the client I'm referring to had a landscaping coaching business, right? All right, and then you have your manual placement. So not only will your ad be shown on Facebook, but it also can be shown on Instagram, their audience network, and Messenger. And within those platforms, you can choose exactly where you want it to be shown. So will it be in the news feed? Will it be in the right column? Will it be in their video feeds or their marketplaces? You know, do you want it to show in the stories? So many different placements that you can choose from. Very powerful stuff, guys. And then lastly, you got your optimization and delivery. So you can choose from link clicks, landing page views, daily views. And this is just under the traffic campaign. But keep in mind that if we selected something like a conversion campaigns, then you can optimize for conversions, and you can even control some of your costs. So whatever your max cost per click you want, or your max cost per conversion you want, you can go ahead and enter right here, although that could put you behind the competition, which is again something I don't recommend. And then lastly, you have your ad. Now you've probably seen ads a lot before, so I won't go too much into this, but you have a lot of different formats. You can choose from single images or video images, carousel ads, collection ads. You can even do slideshows and more. So this is where you start communicating to your audience the value that you give. Okay, so hopefully you can see some of the power within Facebook Ads Manager. I have some really awesome tips that I have to share with you guys. So I'm gonna hop back into the camera so that we can talk about those Facebook advertising tips. Now, as you just saw, Facebook Ads Manager is a very powerful platform, but let's remember that it is a pay-to-play platform, and its main value prompt is giving you the ability to reach people faster. But you have to be willing to pay enough, because if you spend too little, then it's still gonna take you a lot of time to get results. All right, so I got 3 tips for Facebook advertising. Tip number 1, think with the end in mind. And this is my favorite quote from Stephen Covey, which reigns true even within Facebook marketing. In other words, you want to know what is your desired outcome before you start advertising. What is your KPI? Okay, is it reach? Is it engagement? Is it traffic? Is it app installs, etc.? Now, most of our clients are looking for leads or sales, but if you don't have a compulsive sale or a warm audience, then you may need to start by building up a fan base first. Let me explain. Most people won't buy from you during the first interaction. In fact, according to HubSpot, the average number of touch points needed to get to a sale is 8. So you may need a combination of posts, emails, website visits, or phone calls before a prospect buys from you. And someone who has already started this journey will be considered a part of your warm audience. Now, I'll link Cargill's video up above on marketing funnels if you're interested in learning more about how to warm your audience up. Okay, let's move on to tip number 2, start small. Hey Sean, look how small I can get. Okay, not that kind of small. What I mean is that if you're just starting out or you haven't quite figured out Facebook advertising yet, then you don't need to go out and blow $10,000 a month. Instead, I would recommend starting with a modest budget of about $1,000 to $1,500 per month, which should give you enough data quickly to fine-tune your audience and creative. Secondly, don't start out by pitching your most expensive offer. Instead, offer something small. You can offer something free, like a free guide or an exclusive video in exchange for an email address, or some smaller, just low expensive offers to get the ball rolling and establish some trust. So my advice is to take a slow and steady approach when building a new relationship. The only exception to this is if you have an impulsive buy. For example, if you're selling some delicious cookies and as soon as someone sees it, they're tempted to buy, then you definitely should start with that. Okay, let's move on to tip number 3, track everything. The biggest advantage of Facebook and other digital marketing platforms is their ability to measure your results with precision. You can see everything from impressions to the exact amount of dollar return that you got on your ad spend. So you want to make sure you're installing Facebook Pixels on your website. That way you can cookie your visitors that go to your website from Facebook. And then you can track exactly how your visitors engage from Facebook to your website. Now, if you're selling a product on Facebook's shopping feature, then this is native and you can track sales from within Facebook Ads Manager on your Facebook shopping store. Which, remember, the more native that you can be, the better effect that it can have on the algorithm. Now, those are my top 3 tips when it comes to Facebook advertising. But if you're in e-commerce and you want to learn a little bit more about Facebook advertising, then I highly recommend you check out Sherman's video on Facebook advertising for e-commerce. Okay, now let's wrap up with the final part 3 of this video. Here we're gonna look at our winning combination and my predictions for Facebook marketing in 2021. So the best outcome for Facebook marketing is to use both organic and advertising methods. So let's take a look at a marketing funnel. I want us to pretend that we are a personal trainer. I want us to close our eyes and pretend that we are a personal trainer. You, give me 100 push-ups. You, give me 100 sit-ups. You, give me 100 jumping jacks. And you, give me 100 Facebook posts. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a marketing funnel for a personal trainer. So here at the top, you have the awareness phase. And what we're gonna do is just create some nice, valuable Facebook posts. Now, since you're a personal trainer, you're gonna post about some really good workout plans and tips, which are a part of your organic strategy. The next section is your engagement section. And here we wanna just grow our fans and engagement as much as possible. So we're going to start boosting some of those posts, which is a part of your paid strategy. Now, these first 2 phases go lockstep in one another because you wanna build a sizable audience. So let's say we're going after maybe 25,000 fans. Now, once you get to about 25,000 fans, you're ready to start making an offer. And since you're a personal trainer, maybe your first offer is a free training session. And all your fans have to do is give you their name, their email address, their number, and book a time to sign up. And so now you're in the consideration phase of the marketing funnel. And you have their email, their number, and you're ready to really start selling. All right, that is gonna be your warm audience. Now you're ready to start emailing, texting, calling your prospects to talk about buying your core product, which may be your monthly training services. All right, so in this example, we've combined organic and paid strategies and completed an entire marketing funnel. Now there are an endless amount of ways to combine organic and paid strategies. For example, you could create an event, advertise it, and then follow it up with social media posts. So the key here is to attempt to meet your customers where they are. All right, let's go ahead and end with the last thing on my mind, which is Facebook marketing for 2021 and beyond. And as you can tell with this video guide, Facebook is a company that is still very aggressive in their platform's growth. Facebook favors brands who favors their users. It's a win-win for everybody. So what's some of the things that Facebook is pushing right now? Well, as we mentioned, video is becoming more and more important as it helps Facebook to increase the time spent on their platform. And I believe that long-form video will have a significant advantage in the algorithm going into 2021. Also, I believe you're gonna see an explosion of growth with Facebook Shops because obviously it keeps users on their platform and it's native. So don't wait, go ahead and get started by using some of these content features as well as producing long form video. Now, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. And hey, if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click that little red button below to go ahead and subscribe. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching. I'm Sean, and I'll see you in the next video.